in the state's commercial driver's license program, as identified by the Secretary of Transportation in the most recent audit of the program, and other actions that the state will take to comply. A plan submitted by a state under paragraph 1 shall include a schedule for the implementation of the actions identified under paragraph 2. In establishing the schedule, the state shall prioritize actions to address any deficiencies highlighted by the Secretary of Transportation as critical in the most recent audit of the program. It's a financial audit, okay? It's all about funds generating revenue. B, deadline for compliance with the requirements. A plan submitted by a state under paragraph 1 shall include assurance that the state will take the necessary actions to comply with the requirements of subsection A not later than September 30th, 2015. Approval and disapproval. The Secretary of Transportation shall review each plan submitted under the paragraph 1, approve a plan if the Secretary of Transportation determines that the plan meets the requirements under this section and promotes the goals of this chapter, and disapprove a plan that the Secretary of Transportation determines does not meet the requirements or does not promote the goals. Modifications or disapproved plans if the Secretary for the Department of Transportation disapproves of the plan under paragraph 4 of the Secretary shall provide a written explanation to the disapproval of the state and allow the state to modify the plan and resubmit for approval. Plan update. The Secretary may require a state to review and update a plan as appropriate. Annual comparison of state levels of compliance. The Secretary of Transportation shall annually compare the relative levels of compliance by state with the requirements under subsection and make the results of the comparison available to the public. Now, again, just for shits and giggles, I want to remind you what the state is. The state means a state of the United States and the District of Columbia. Well, first of all, the United States is a corporation, and these are subsidiary corporations of the principal corporation, the District of Columbia, which means that which is included, that which is excluded, or that which is included excludes all others. Okay. So this is not talking about the Union of States. This is not talking about you. This is not talking about you on the landmass that you were on. This is talking about their special interests and foreign entities. All right. So now that we
understand. Excuse me just a moment, Derek, hold on 1 second, please. 9:32 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is stopping. 9:32 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Recording started. Thank you.
Would I also be able to make a request if it's acceptable for anyone else to hear? I'm all for going more of the day, but would it be all right if we took like an hour and a half break and maybe go grab some food, sit down, kind of you take a little mental break and then come back? And if we need to go the rest of the day, I'm all for it. Derek, would that be acceptable for anyone here as a suggestion?
Well, it's up to everybody else. I do this for 16 to 18 hours a day, so I'm good. But if you guys need a break, you guys made the contribution, so I'm at your will and pleasure. So it's completely up to you. It is being recorded. You can always rewind it later on.
I'm good, and I want to honor and respect Derek's time and energy, and also everyone who's facilitating this call. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yes, I just want to make sure that you guys,
if we may, since the call is being recorded, to the brother that asked, well, mark the time, and everyone who has to step away, we also have to step away, and we mark times so that if we have to step away, we know at what part of the recording we need to go back to in order for us to listen, so that we don't miss exactly the tenor of the discussion and what was being said. Because yes, we are in agreement. Time is valuable, and brother is on a roll, and he doesn't know when to stop on that roll until it is given to stop.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah.
look, we're in the really simple part where there's going to be a lot of repetitive shit. Like I'm pointing out things that are trigger words. These are the trigger words that they use. Domiciled. Where are you domiciled? Where's your resident? These trigger words are in here for a reason. And I'm pointing them out for people that have never been to court before, because as soon as they get there, when they hear it, they're going to know how to respond. Oh, I'm not domiciled. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know what you mean by that. I have a humble abode. Oh, we're not going to play these word games. It's funny that they say that because that's exactly how their whole fucking system is structured. It's all about fucking mind fucking people with psychology and word games. That's their job. So hearing cops, attorneys, and judges say, I'm not here to play word games with you, that's exactly what the fuck you're doing. Then maybe we should just go outside and duel in the fucking street. What do you think about that, Shoutsky? Well, I don't think it's got to come to that. Sure, it does. You're trying to piss on my back and convince me it's raining when all you do is manipulate fucking language like a serpent, like Lucifer in the fucking Garden of Eden.
Derek,
What they do.
Derek, if you were to fill out a District of Columbia D4A non-resident of the District of Columbia, I think that might win.
D4A. Can you repeat that one more time?
Form D4A, Certificate of Non-Residence in the District of Columbia.
D4A.
That's the W4. That's a W4 for DC.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Also, the DA, the Department of Army, what is it? The 3848? I always get the number wrong.
Yeah, DA. Yeah, 2838. Sworn statement.
2838. After last night, me explaining to you guys that everything is run through the DOD, there is no judiciary. Write down DA 2838, and you're going to start filling out your sworn statements on military forms because they are absolutely subject to the DOD. All right. Just going to help you out there a little bit. All right. So again, just pointing out little keywords, things of that nature.
Please, Derek.
What's that?
Repeat that, please.
Yes. Form DA Delta Alpha hyphen 2838. And Smoking Baby just mentioned another form, D hyphen 4A.
Yep.
To prove that you're not a resident of the District of Columbia and therefore being able to provide evidence to the court that you're not subject to the legislative edicts of Congress. Because remember, those legislative edicts only apply to the territory they're in constructive possession of or own. That's it. Nothing else. It's like if you make rules for your house, your rules for your house don't apply at my house and vice versa, right? In other words, my rights stop where yours begin. So I will recognize Congress's sovereignty so long as they recognize mine. We're good. Otherwise, you have to go to war, and nobody wants that, right? Just think about that for a moment. What I'm saying is just common sense.
Posted in the room. Army Rider.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. And the reason that I'm telling you to use that form is because I just pointed out everything is under the DOD. We are under martial law. I showed you that in the Lieber Code. I affirmed it in the Trading with the Enemy Act, which is the trust indenture. I showed you that your birth certificate is a certificate of indemnification according to. I showed you that it is also a power of attorney. That's why it works in the courts when you rent, settle, and close the account. And that's why people can use it and walk out of the court. Anyway, the next code. Go ahead.
What was that? I just walked in again here, Derek. This is Gina. I am looking at what Smoking Baby just said. It was different. It was different than the D-4A. Is it
2823?
20? Okay, thank you. Got it.
All right, all right, all right.
Thank
And
you.
here's something that you could do. Um, you know, the alleged judges say that they're not subject to the DA 2823. But I'm here to tell you right now, absolutely every last one of them is, because they're a commissioned officer.
And the
They're
gold French flag.
damn right. I don't like going off on that tangent because people just go too far. You can always
Yeah,
tell
I know.
you can always tell the newbies that watch King of the Hill. I saw it. Boomhauer, he's already been honorably discharged once. You cannot dishonorably discharge me again. Yes, yeah. Sit down. 49 USC subsection. I pulled it up wrong. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. I wondered why that looked. Oh, we will keep that one too. That's a good one. Oh, by the grace of God, the Heavenly Father guides us yet again. Look at that. One I didn't see and overlooked, but I like what I'm saying. Write that down. 49 USC 32505 information and compliance requirements. Now, why on God's green earth would he direct me this way? General authority to enable the Secretary of Transportation to decide whether a manufacturer or passenger motor vehicle equipment is complying with this chapter and standards prescribed under this chapter. The Secretary may require the manufacturer to keep records, make reports, provide items of information, including vehicle and equipment for testing at a negotiated price not more than the manufacturer's cost, and allow an officer or employee designated by the Secretary of Transportation to inspect vehicles and relevant records of the manufacturer. I'm going to go back to that a little bit later, but notice how they talk about passenger motor vehicles now, because they only have jurisdiction over passenger motor vehicles and commercial motor vehicles. All right. Interstate commerce. There you go again. Another key word. Let's see what interstate commerce is. Interstate commerce. Interstate commerce means commerce between a place in a state and a place in another state, or another place in the same state through another state. Nothing like using words to describe the words that they use, right? Circular and it's. Go ahead. The FBI and the ASL. The A, it's the FBI and the ASL. They're doing the same thing that the CIA did back in the 60s when they coined the phrase conspiracy theorists. And my question is, when does a conspiracy theory become a conspiracy fact?
ADL. The
I posted-
ADL. Go ahead.
I posted in the room yesterday how you can defeat the sovereign citizen link. It's a LinkedIn account in the room yesterday.
This code is really important. This is going to be one of the codes that you use in your notice to the Department of Transportation Safety Board, the Secretary of Transportation, and the Department of Safety. This is going to be one of your key elements, and I'm going to show you why. So 49 USC 13505, transportation furthering a primary business. Pay attention. In general, neither the secretary nor the board has jurisdiction under this part over the transportation of property by motor vehicle when the property is transported by a person engaged in a business other than transportation. We might want to look to see what transportation is. Transportation, the term. When they're saying the term, they're not saying it's the definition. They're saying it's a term. So terms and conditions agreed upon create what? Contract. Contract creates law, therefore equity follows law. The term Transportation includes a motor vehicle, vessel, warehouse, wharf, pier, dock, yard, property, facility, instrumentality, or equipment of any kind related to the movement of passengers or property or both, regardless of ownership, or an agreement concerning use, and services related to that movement, including arranging for receipts, delivery, elevation, transportation, in transit, refrigeration, icing, ventilation, storage, handling, packaging, unpacking, and interchange of passenger and property.
The average wage for doing what that section transportation talks about under the Department of Labor, like going to the store, going to the post office, going down the road, is $43 an hour for the W-4.
So the transportation is within the scope of and furthers a primary business other than transportation of the person. So look, in general, neither the secretary nor the board has jurisdiction. Isn't everything always about jurisdiction? Jurisdiction under this part over the transportation of property by motor vehicle when the transportation is within the scope of and further a primary business other than transportation of the person. Did you catch it? In other words, when your private household consumer goods going from point A to point B at your leisure and your pleasure is outside the scope of their authority and not within their jurisdiction. Where they fucked you is when the car dealership turned around and in the contract to get your automobile, it started as an automobile at top, and by the time you got to the bottom of the contract, it became a motor vehicle. You started as a purchaser buyer at the top, and by the time you got down to the bottom, you were a debtor borrower, and your automobile became a motor vehicle, and you agreed and gave them permission to send off your MCR MSO to the DMV. And just like at the hospital when you get a newborn and then the placenta comes out and all that great stuff, and then the hospital collects your biological material and the biological material of the baby and then turns around and sells it. That's the same thing the automobile dealership did. Not only did they sell the securities and transfer them and assign them elsewhere for profit and gain, but then they didn't even sell you the entire automobile. They took the MSO. That's why they grant you the automobile as grantor on the odometer reading sheet, and you receive it as the grantee because they never sold you an automobile. They granted it to you. Therefore, they can do whatever the fuck they want with that MSO, that MCO, because you didn't technically buy the automobile. And if you don't believe me, as long as it wasn't a private deal and you went to a dealership, go look at the odometer reading, and sure as shit, when you pull that out, you will see that they were the grantor and you were the grantee. You didn't buy anything. You negotiated paper for paper, and you didn't state your interest in the securities you generated. And they're holding you as collateral for a secondary loan they received because you pledged your new automobile that they granted to you as collateral so they could get an advance. That's how that scheme works. Anyway.
Get out of that. How do you
You just walk in there and say you want a Rochambeau, that you get to go first and kick them in the nuts, and then tell them that you're lucky you're not suing them for what they did. If you look up dealer, a dealer does not sell automobiles or motor vehicles. A dealer sells, buys, trades, and negotiates securities.
It'd also be good for this for anyone who's gotten the real ID. You would want to go through and remove that you ever got a real ID from all these databases as well.
That's a dangerous thing, that real ID.
Yep.
So I'm sorry I cut you off before you asked your question. So what were you asking? How you enforce your right to be made whole after they used false and misleading conveyance of language and fail to disclose material facts to unjustly enrich their principal while simultaneously screwing you. Was that your question?
The baby.
No, it was Teresa Beaver. I was rude and cut her off. My apologies. I'm sorry, I cut you off when you asked your question.
Yeah,
So go ahead.
how would we claim our securities?
That is a wonderful question. All you have to do is do an allonge and send it to them. You can send the allonge to them stating your qualified endorsement, letting them know that you're not the accommodation party, that you're the accredited investor, and you want a full accounting because you're doing owing, rights, titles, interest, dividends, derivatives, debentures, sediments, general tangibles, general intangibles, general securities, trust residuals, rents, profits, proceeds, futures, and annuities because they failed to disclose material facts and because they didn't fully avail you of all the legal consequences and the nature and cause of the transaction, they can't profit from your property because that would be ill-gotten gains. And a allonge is simply just another piece of paper because you're the original source value issuer of all issue. You can also allonge and change the terms and conditions anytime.
I started using a codicil because a codicil goes on a will.
Derrick, may I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Just a quick question, because I know it's a little bit off topic, but would such an allonge also function for the mortgages, notes that the
Works
notes?
on everything. Yep. The other thing that's fun to do with them is to demand the original note because it's incomplete. Make sure you do it in written form, not via the phone. Make sure you use a disinterested third party for process of service and make sure that you serve the agent for process of service of the company that you're doing this for, whatever bank it may be, financial institution. And you give them notice that your promissory note and your mortgage are incomplete and you need to finish them. Well, there's a problem. They can never retrieve them back. They're gone. And they know they're gone. But because you gave them notice that they were incomplete and that you wish to correct them, if they can't bring those sons of bitches back to you, guess what? They don't have any standing. There is no fucking contract. And because you gave them notice that they're incomplete and you would like to finish them, not fix them, finish them. If you say fix, you screw yourself. They need to be completed. They're not complete yet. They're in possession of incomplete documents. There needs to be proper qualified endorsements and orders and whatever else that you feel necessary. Just keep it light, sweet, and short. Don't talk too much. And you'll be surprised when they tell you, unfortunately, we're unable to do that. What? You're the securities intermediary and trustee holding my property, and you can't give it back. It's incomplete. Well, there's no contract. There's no contract. Guess what? There's no obligation. You just prove they have no standing. Then you can take them into court and you can sue them.
Well, I'm actually post auction. I'm trying to basically correct these things retroactively. I actually did schedule a consult with you for this week, so we can talk about that. But thank you so much. That's very encouraging to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, you just got to take your power back. That's the fun thing about learning the law. At first, I just wanted to rip the system apart. And one of my first mentors told me, as soon as you figure this out, you're going to have a fucking blast. It sure didn't feel like it back then. They were destroying my whole life. Everything I'd built with my own two hands, they were taking it from me with the swoop of a pen and a bunch of bullshit administrative processes and stuff. And I was tired of lawyers screwing me over. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to learn this on my own. I'm a scrapper and I love beating the shit out of bullies. So I might as well just become intellectually strong. And I guess it will have the same result as physically doing it. And sure shit, it is the same result, So, and I found out the government is the biggest bully of them all. And I've been hell bent on them ever since.
One more question.
What's that?
Does somebody want to go first? I just was going to ask another question, please.
Well, I was going to keep plugging along, but go ahead, ask your question.
All right. I'm going to be going through these court cases. I'm getting my letter ready tomorrow. and going through that, is it you want to call RIM process, where you go and start to sue after I get my letters in.
First, have you even started the private administrative process and found the agent process the service and give them notice? Friendly correspondence. Hey, you guys have trespassed on me, causing harm, damage, loss, a hardship, and we need to make this right. Have you given them an opportunity to make it right yet?
No, I have not yet. I was
Yeah, you probably want to do that before you file suit and drag their name in the public.
okay. Well, I still have to
You can
answer to
actually
the
go
court.
into the court with clean hands. So that's mistake number one. Try to settle your affairs privately before you drag.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to do that. I still have to do a special appearance.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. I thought you were
Okay, I have to do a special appearance. I have 2 court cases coming up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were filing court cases
Oh,
against
no, not yet. And then I wanted to see if I could get with you and have a little
Yeah, you
bit.
can schedule a call on my website. That's how I do everything. I just
Okay.
I only allot myself about 4 hours a day to talk to people, and then the rest is devoted to
Sure.
what's going on. So
All right.
yeah, it's available.
Schedule at your website then at the university?
Yeah.
I signed up, but I could not get through. I don't know what the problem was.
Every now and again they revamp stuff. I use ClickFunnels, and I should have used what was that other one? Sounds like a newspaper or something. Anyway, I'm not very tech savvy at all. It's a real
Okay.
nightmare.
I don't care about
ClickFunnels because it was supposed to be
losing the money. I just wanted to make sure. I'll try it again.
I was supposed to use, somebody that was technologically advanced said you should have used WordPress. You would have liked it a lot better. Well, I didn't, so that's a problem. And now I have it's on there that people have a lifetime membership to, and so I can't get rid of it. So I'm stuck with it. Anyway, with that being said,
thank you very much. Okay.
All right. So anyway, this is one of your linchpins, by the way. 49 USC 13505, transportation furthering the primary business. Why is this your linchpin? Because it tells you that neither the Secretary of Transportation nor the board has jurisdiction under this part over the transportation of property by motor vehicle when the transportation is within the scope of and furthers a primary business other than transportation of the person. So anyway, it's telling you if under their program, the Secretary of Transportation doesn't have jurisdiction and the board doesn't have jurisdiction, guess who else doesn't have jurisdiction? The state, because they're subordinate to the board and the Secretary of Transportation, ladies and gentlemen. So they're telling you if you're not engaged in transportation, they don't have fucking jurisdiction. That means the state doesn't have jurisdiction. That means the municipality doesn't have jurisdiction. That means that the sheriff doesn't have jurisdiction, or the county has jurisdiction, or the state troopers don't have jurisdiction. You understand what that means? So what's the problem? The problem is that your private household consumer goods are classified in their records as a passenger motor vehicle or motor vehicle. And we're going to go through those definitions here in just a minute. So you can see that your private household consumer goods don't even meet the description of a motor vehicle or passenger motor vehicle. So corporate families, in general, neither the secretary nor the board has jurisdiction under this part over transportation of property by motor vehicles for compensation provided by a person who is a member of a corporate family for other members of such corporate family. Definitions. In this section, corporate family means a group of corporations consisting of a parent corporation and all subsidiaries. In such, the parent corporations owns directly or indirectly 100% interest. All right, the next one we are going to go to is that was 13505. Now we are going to go, and 13505A was the one that carries the weight, by the way. Now we're going to go to 14505A. 13505A. All right. 49, United States Code 13505, transportation furthering the primary business. Didn't we just do that?
Yep.
Excuse me. That's because I went to 13,505. I need to be at 14,505. Sorry about that. 14,505. State tax. A state or political subdivision thereof may not collect or levy a tax, fee, head charge, or other charge on a passenger traveling in interstate commerce by motor courier. The transportation of a passenger traveling in interstate commerce by motor courier, the sale of passenger transportation in interest commerce by motor courier, or the gross receipt derived from such transportation. The reason that they can't do that is because it would interfere with interstate commerce. All right. Again, pointing everything out. It's all pertaining to commerce. All right. Let's see what else was in there that I wanted to point out. All right. Oh, excuse me. I fucked that one up. Let's do it this way. I forgot. This one they hide from you, so you have to type it in like this. Let's see if it'll blow up this way. It's not gonna pull it up. Why? Pull it up. Shoot. 386 maybe. Negative. All right, that's some bitch. Let's see if it's CFR and I made a mistake. CFR. Let's try that. Consistency. CFR. Supposed to be the Unified Courier Registration System and Plan. Vehicle registration to show you that you don't have to register your vehicle. And it is going to be under 14,505. 14,505. What? It was just there the other day. Innovation Technology Administration, Department of Transportation. Huh. Voila. All right. Let's see if we can find it this
That's
way.
almost like you have to.
Well, somebody told me last night, they're like, you realize because now you're showing everybody this shit, they're gonna make it disappear. And I'm like, oh yeah, that always happens. No big deal.
You almost have to print it or screenshot and then keep it for your records because otherwise it just disappears. They are super corrupt.
Now it has me feeling like I'm losing my fucking mind. That's fucking crazy because when I write shit down, I'm very thorough. And why? Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why? Boy, that is my fleet.
When there's not losing your
There's
mind,
no
brother.
way they remove that fucking fast, but that's most certainly what it fucking looks like. That's insane. No way. I literally just had that up.
Can you use Brave or a different browser?
No, it was removed from the CFR website. It's it's not there. That is so interesting.
Give us the number is
49
14,505.
USC 1405 A10. And you know what? When I looked it up last time, I actually had to type out the entire chapter and everything. So let me do that and see if that'll cure the problem. I'll type up in the entire chapter 49. Like I said, they hide this shit. But one of the guys that I was sharing this with is like, how did you find all this shit? I said, I literally go page by page by page through this shit. And I read it day in and day out because it's kind of like a treasure hunt, I guess, because they hide shit. So it's like finding fucking Easter eggs for people who hate government. Hate being governed, I should say. I love government because I govern myself, so I love my government. But assholes and asshats that want to govern and lord over me really piss me off. So I spend my day fucking with them because they're bullies. I ain't got nothing better to do. So
Derek, I think I may have found it. Possibly. So try 49 USC 14504A for alpha. And then in parentheses, it has 10.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And it's 14504, not 14505.
I have 504.
You're correct.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is exactly what we're looking for. All right, 49 U.S. Code, subsection 14504A, Unified Carrier Registration System Plan and Agreement. Definitions in this section and section 14506, except as provided in this paragraph 5, the following definitions apply. Commercial motor vehicle. All right. In general, except as provided in subparagraph B, the term commercial motor vehicle for calendar year 2008 and 2009 has the meaning given in the term in section 31101 and for years beginning after December 31st, 2009 means a self-propelled vehicle described in sections 31101. So what we're looking for, and I'm just going to skip all this shit because it's mundane. I don't think you guys really want to go through all that.